2023 Joe Biden meet 2007 Joe Biden. 2023 Joe Biden is an avid supporter of gay marriage, didn't you know? Wouldn't have it any other way. 2007 Joe Biden, not so much. 1994 Joe Biden meet 2023 Joe Biden. 1994 Joe Biden actually co-authored an extremely effective crime bill, one that actually punished criminals for their crimes. One that helped keep those criminals behind bars and off the streets. 1994, Joe Biden actually cared about American safety. The bill he penned put more police on the streets. 1994, Joe Biden would be astonished to meet 2023 Joe Biden. That Joe Biden panders to progressives and looks the other way as his blue party cronies destroy cities, flirt with and appease criminals, and a Soros-fueled agenda. I think all of the old versions of Joe Biden would be shocked to find this version of Joe Biden. Old Joe Biden stood his ground, embraced his racism in a kind of funny way, was almost unapologetic about it. So when he said stuff like this, blatantly racist, of course, you kind of had to, I don't know, admire some of his bravado, I guess, when he said it.
The first sort of mainstream African American who was articulate and bright and clean and a nice looking guy. I mean, that's a storybook, man.
Articulate and clean, that African American Barack Obama. The question you must ask yourself was, is he really that clueless, that self-unaware? You almost gave him the benefit of the doubt. But these days, it's really just a pill, a tough pill to swallow. These days, it's almost as if they want us to forgive the moments. He's not the man he used to be. He's clearly on the precipice of dementia or whatever else is going on that stops him from making up or down stairs smoothly. But this is not that. This somehow hits differently. When Joe Biden sits down and acts as if we don't have an entire history of tape, of sound bites, of moments that refute his stories, it's more insulting, isn't it? Joe Biden sat down for an interview with The Daily Show with an adoring, fawning host in Kal Penn and answered questions about the gay and transgender agendas. What ensued, and with each passing word, I couldn't believe my eyes or my ears. Listen.
I can remember exactly where my epiphany was.
Okay.
I hadn't thought much about it, to tell you the truth. And I was a senior in high school, and my dad was dropping me off. And I remember about to get out of the car, and I looked to my right, and two well-dressed men in suits kissed each other. I mean, they gave each other a kiss. And then one looked like he was heading to the DuPont building, one looked like he headed to the Hercules Corporation building. And I'll never forget, I turned and looked at my dad. He said, Joey, it's simple. They love each other. It's simple. No, I'm not joking.
I'm not joking. Oh, he's not joking. So the president of these United States of America, the man who sits at the Resolute desk in the Oval Office, lives in the White House, holds the nuclear codes, tells you everything is okay. That man, Joe Biden, has become more persistent and more blusterous. Joe Biden's so-called high school epiphany about gay men didn't happen. Let's start right there. The big guy is 80 years old. That would mean that he was in high school in the mid to late 50s and was no doubt kicking off his prolific career in plagiarism. So, Joe, you're telling me that in the late 50s in America, you and your father saw two men in suits kissing in the street before heading off to work. And your father sees the look on your face, Joe, and says, get over it, kid. It's simple. Joey. Those men love each other. Grow up. That's just how it is. And then they went and made their way over to the black church, I guess, before heading over to the synagogue, just before Joe participated in the civil rights movement with Nelson Mandela, taking the train each and every day. Did I get all that right, Joe? Well, it's the kicker. This is the kicker.
It doesn't matter whether it's same-sex or a heterosexual couple. They should be able to be married. What is the problem? So listen to your auntie and your uncle. Get married. Do it now.
Wow. You see that? Joe Biden had an epiphany in high school, which is when he started supporting gay marriage, except that years later, and for most of his political career, Biden aggressively opposed it. And you know it takes a certain amount of hubris or dementia or both to be so blatantly counter yourself that way. And to tell lies with such impunity. Biden is lying. Body language. Tell number one, I'm not joking. If Joe Biden says something and it's followed up with, I'm not joking, start adding up the Pinocchios, folks. Biden is lying. Body language tell. Number two, the lean forward. The podium lean, the chair lean forward. Sometimes he whispers it. That. I hate to break it to you, but thanks to a very accessible and wide array of old videos and clips available to literally everyone, here's a reminder of a non-stuttering Joe Biden in 2006 being quite adamant about his stance on gay marriage. Taking full control.
We don't have enough police officers, and we're going to debate the next 3 weeks, I'm told, gay marriage, a flag amendment, and God only knows what else. I can't believe the American people can't see through this. We already have a law, the Defense of Marriage Act, where we've all voted, not where I voted and others said, look, marriage is between a man and a woman, and states must respect that. Nobody's violated that law. There's been no challenge to that law. Why do we need a constitutional amendment? Marriage is between a man and a woman. What's the game going on here?
All right, 2006 Joe Biden, meet 2023 Joe Biden. Joe tells stories to fit a narrative. Joe tells lies, fabricates stories to appease the crowd so he desperately wants votes from. And he's not joking. And here's the least funny part of that interview. That message the left wants to badly push, that agenda that it's okay to change the sex of a child. The president of these United States not only just came out in support of that, but Joe Biden just said he will push it from the very top.
It's not like, a kid wakes up one morning and says, I decided I want to become a man, or I want to become a woman, or I want to change. I mean, what are they thinking about here? They're human beings. They love, they have feelings, they have inclinations that are, it just, to me, is, I don't know, it's cruel. And the way we do it is we make sure we pass legislation like we passed on same-sex marriage. You mess with that, you're breaking the law, and you're going to be held accountable.
And there you have it, folks. Joe Biden thinks that restrictions on gender-affirming care for trans children is cruel and close to sinful. The grand wizard of lies and sin is talking about things sinful. The man who sits on the throne of lies gives a resounding thumbs up to sexual reassignment surgeries for children. I keep saying that this is the pinnacle of the worst presidency in recent history. And there have been more of those moments than I can count. I think Joe Biden has officially tipped the scales. And this is what we run with. This is what our party must not forget. And we can't let them forget, because, you see, they forgot that he lied and plagiarized and had to step down from a presidential run. But they forgot, and they put him in the White House anyway. But the head of the Democrat Party just said it out loud, said he thinks it's a sin not to put children through gender reassignment. Let's not forget that. Despite what he says now, Joe Biden once said that marriage is between a man, assuming he meant biological, and a woman, assuming he meant biological, period. Whether that was to get votes or to appease his constituents, he said it emphatically over and over and over again. That Joe Biden meant it. The Joe Biden we see now is making it loud and clear what he stands for, what his party stands for. Joe Biden is betting 2024 on this issue, on trans rights, and on mutilating children. This is what he's actually doing now. And don't you worry, Joe. We won't let you forget it. Up next, horrifying moments when an Asian woman